Hi there, I'm Michael with etrailer.com. Today we're taking a look at the JR Products Propane Hose. So this hose is going to connect between your LP gas tank and your RV or travel trailer's regulator. It's going to allow that propane to flow through to your system so you can power up those propane powered appliances. There are a few things that you want to keep in mind when you're looking for a propane hose. The first thing is going to be the length of the hose. So obviously you want it to be able to reach from your tank to your regulator. You want to make sure that it's going to be long enough. This hose is 5 feet long, so if your tank is no more than 5 feet away from your regulator, it should work. The hose itself is made of a rubber construction, so that's going to help reduce the kinks and cracking. You're not going to have to worry about that. It's got an internal diameter of 1/4 of an inch, so that's going to be plenty of room for your propane to flow through to power up those appliances. That 1/4 inch inner diameter is pretty standard for most of these hoses. The next thing that you're going to want to look at when deciding if the hose is going to work for you are your fittings. So we've got 2 different fittings on this hose. This big green one here is your RV Type 1 ACME, or it's sometimes called a QCC1 connection. I like this connection a lot. It's going to thread onto the outer threads of your propane tank valve. It's going to work with almost all your propane valves, so not something that you're going to have to worry about. A nice thing about this is it threads on clockwise. So for those of us who learned the righty-tighty, lefty-loosey method, it's going to be very easy. We're not going to have to think about it. There are a few other adapters out there that screw on the other way, so it might take a little bit more concentration to get those mounted on. This one is going to be very easy. You're not going to have to use any special tools or anything. You can just tighten it down by hand. Another nice thing about this QCC1 connection is it's going to have an internal back check valve that's going to prevent any gas from leaking out of the regulator inlet. So if for some reason your other end were to come disconnected from your regulator, this would sense the change in pressure and it would shut down to minimum pressure going into bypass. So it's going to help prevent any sort of leaks there. Not going to have to worry about that, but it is going to have a nice high flow rate before it goes into that bypass, so you can still use all your appliances at once. It's going to provide plenty of propane for all those accessories. The other side of our hose is going to have a 1/4 inch male inverted flare. So this is the part that's a little hit or miss. Sometimes your regulators will have the female inverted flare. Sometimes they'll have a different connection. An easy way to tell is if you look at your regulator and it's got a gold adapter fitting, it is almost certainly going to use the male inverted flare. So you'd want a hose that has that male inverted flare fitting on it. Keep in mind this hose is designed for LP gas only, so obviously LP stands for liquid propane. You don't want to use any other kind of gases or water or anything with this hose. This hose is UL as well as CSA approved, so it's going to hold up to those high standards. You can trust that it's going to do a good job for you. Now, if this isn't the hose that you need, maybe it's not the right length, maybe you need different adapter fittings, I'd encourage you to come take a look at our other options here at etrailer.com. Our goal is always to help you find the product that you need to solve your problem so you can get back to enjoying your time outdoors. That's going to complete our look at the JR Products Propane Hose.